Now at 10, April ballots could determine future police and fire funding in the city of Joplin. Plus, struggling with the loss of a friend killed in a tragic shooting. And
at Greenbush, high school students get an introduction to crime scene investigation. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin voters decide April 7th whether to continue a half-cent sales tax for public safety. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. City officials say the funding is crucial to retain police officers and firefighters who are leaving for higher-paying departments. The measure would replace the current Prop B tax when it expires in 2027, keeping tax rates the same.
We know we've lost a lot of our wonderful officers to local places. They still live in our community, but they drive an hour because of the significant differences in pay. We really need to do something here in Joplin if we want to keep our qualified officers and already helping serve their community.
According to the city, if approved, it would still be representing a no tax increase. Upon approval, this item will be called the police and fire sales tax, even though it would be a public safety sales tax as authorized by state statute. The Carterville City Council votes to place a 1% sales tax increase called Proposition A on the April 7th ballot. Now, this measure aims to fund crucial infrastructure repairs, especially street paving. If approved, it would generate more than $200,000 annually, allowing the city to maintain streets on a 14-year cycle versus the current 56 years. The tax includes a 10-year sunset, ensuring voter accountability, and would also support drainage, sidewalks, and curbs to improve safety and community growth. Meteorologist Austin Stantz joins us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. So things tonight beginning to cool down significantly. Temperatures already heading into the 20s as we head into the 10 o'clock hour. Once we approach midnight, temperatures start dropping into the teens. Some scattered cloud cover out there. Can't rule out just a brief flurry or two, but nothing impactful tonight. The most impactful thing is going to be those temperatures tonight. So what can you grab tomorrow morning? Well, at the KOA coffee shop, you got to decide between hot or iced. What's that temperature going to be like? Well, starting out at 15 degrees, you're going to want to opt for the iced coffee. Take a look at that temperature. 15 degrees, mostly cloudy. Going to be a chilly start for your Friday. Also, cold weather advisories in place across large portions of the 4 states right now. Those take effect Friday at midnight. Also, watching the potential for some ice accumulation. We're going to talk about how all of this is going to impact you and your weekend coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thanks, Austin. Weeks after Adam Basari's death, his friends are still struggling to process what happened. The 18-year-old Girard High School football player was shot and killed on January 9th. Police say allegedly by a friend. One of Adam's closest friends was there with him and says the loss is even harder knowing they knew the alleged shooter.
Definitely one of the hardest things, knowing that somebody that all of us grew up with as a kid, knowing he's the one that took him away from us, knowing that he's the one that took Adam and knowing we'll never see him again.
To honor Adam's life, friends and family are planning a memorial basketball tournament this weekend. You can find those details on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A wrong-way driver near Carthage travels 7.5 miles before finally crashing. Authorities received the report around 11 o'clock last night. And when they arrived on scene, they found an SUV in a ditch near mile marker 58, just north of 2 semis pulled into the shoulder. Troopers believe the SUV struck a guardrail and then sideswiped one of the semis. The second semi struck road debris. The driver of the SUV, David McKinney of Carthage, was not injured. He was arrested and cited for felony DWI and driving the wrong direction on a divided highway. More than 100 high school students throughout southeast Kansas get a chance to learn how crime scene investigations work. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how the Greenbush Education Center in Girard is opening their eyes to future possibilities.
I thought the blood splatter was pretty cool, learning about how they actually learn about it or learn about their suspect, what he does, and the footprints were pretty cool. I like the stuff they use in order to make that happen.
Whether it was hearing from industry professionals, chatting with college recruiters, or viewing demonstrations from MSSU criminal justice students, the Greenbush Education Center made sure there was something for everyone.
Hands-on is necessary for learning. It keeps them engaged and also gives them real-life experience. All of the kids here today are juniors and seniors in high school, so they're deciding what they want to do for the rest of their lives or for college.
Throughout the day, the students got to take part in several hands-on activities, such as foot impressions.
We learn from each other. I know I learn from them. It's a great experience for them to see different things in CSI that I didn't know once I got into the program, but I like it and I'm glad to teach to other students too.
Of course, it's not unusual for high schoolers to be unsure of what they want to study in college or pursue for a career, but the center hopes many leave feeling inspired to at least consider paths in law enforcement and forensics.
I hope they have an excitement for learning, if nothing else, and I hope that they had a good day and kind of learn behind the scenes of what happens at a crime scene. But hopefully today some kids will decide if this is the career path for them or not. And today I hope that they also start thinking about that future and that next step.
In Girard, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The event is one of several scheduled this year to celebrate 50 years of Greenbush and highlight the resources the center has to offer. Crowder College and Franklin Technology Center sign a new agreement creating a pathway for nursing students. The articulation agreement allows FTC nursing diploma graduates to earn an Associate of Science in Nursing degree from Crowder College. Now, Crowder College has similar articulation agreements with several other institutions to help students transfer credits and earn additional degrees. Officials say this is the first agreement of its kind in Missouri. Coming up, how members of the Joplin community paid their respects to lives lost during ICE protests. And
Senate Democrats reach a funding deal with the White House as they negotiate reforms to ICE. I'm Erica Brown with more on the agreement as a partial government shutdown looms.
bitter cold couldn't stop Joplin community members from gathering at 4th and Main this evening to honor those killed during recent ICE enforcement operations. The vigil remembered 37-year-old Alex Preddy, an intensive care nurse, Renee Good, a 37-year-old mother, and Keith Porter Jr., a 43-year-old father of two, all shot by federal agents this month. Now, advocates for the under-resourced organized the event, bringing together community members who say they want accountability for the deadly shootings. A Senate Democratic source has told CBS News that a deal has been reached to pass 5 spending bills needed to fund a large portion of the government for the rest of the fiscal year and avoid a shutdown. As Erica Brown reports, the development comes after Senate Democrats earlier today blocked funding legislation in the wake of the shooting deaths of 2 U.S. citizens by federal agents this month in Minneapolis.
The deal between Democrats and the White House includes funding various government agencies with 5 spending bills, while removing the Department of Homeland Security from the broader spending package. It comes as negotiations for reforms to ICE are set to get underway in the wake of the deadly shootings by federal agents in Minneapolis. In a social media post, President Trump said, quote, "Republicans and Democrats have come together to get the vast majority of the government funded until September." At a cabinet meeting Thursday, the president expressed hope an agreement would be reached.
I think we're getting close. The Democrats, I don't believe, want to see it either. So we'll work in a very bipartisan way, I believe, not to have a shutdown.
The deal also includes a measure to temporarily fund the Department of Homeland Security for 2 weeks at its current levels, while lawmakers negotiate changes to immigration and customs enforcement during that time.
If Republicans refuse to work with us to rein in ICE and to end the violence, they're telling the American people they're choosing to protect ICE over choosing to protect people's safety.
I mean, Chuck Schumer wants to shut down the government because he wants to hurt Donald Trump. This is not to solve problems. If he cared about this, why didn't he do it when they had power? If they cared about putting control on ICE, they could have done this.
On the Senate floor, Democratic Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called for ICE reforms, including ending roving patrols, preventing agents from wearing masks during enforcement operations, and keeping body cameras on. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Any deal would need to be passed by the House, and lawmakers in that chamber are not set to return to Washington until Monday, meaning there could be a partial shutdown even if all sides agree on the way forward. A little later, serving the community for more than 40 years.
Ministries has been a good neighbor to Carthage for over 40 years. On this week's Doing Good, we'll see how you can help them out. I'm Ty Parks, I'll have that story coming up.
And while it might seem a little early for a slip and slide, well, with some icy conditions expected this weekend, I'll have those details coming up. Well, as the sun is set, now temperatures dropping below freezing. And get this, we are not going to go above freezing until Sunday. So we've got some cold temperatures to deal with. A lot of that has to do with all this Arctic air behind the stationary front. Remember, stationary front is warm air battling cold air. Two air masses battling, and the Arctic air behind that stationary front is going to push southwest. So that's going to help this the cold air win that battle, turn into a cold front, and push to our southwest moving through on Friday. A little bit of low pressure just off to our south of 44 here, trying to cause a little bit of a disturbance. So as we go through the evening hours, a flurry or two can't be completely ruled out. But as we head into tomorrow morning, temperatures in the teens tomorrow, right around 15 degrees. As you're waking up tomorrow morning, boy, is it going to be cold out there to start your Friday. Some scattered cloud cover, some sunshine on and off throughout the day. As we head into the later afternoon hours, cloud cover encompasses the area. Temperatures stall out in the mid-20s. A flurry or two can't be completely ruled out, especially since we'll have some moisture in the area there. But cold, dry air begins to move in as that stationary front turns into a cold front and begins to push south, knocking all that cloud cover out of the area. Let me tell you, when that cloud cover clears Friday night, temperatures going to plummet overnight. Single digits, could even go below zero at times as we head into Saturday morning. That poses some serious threats for us, especially with wind chill factor. We're going to see wind gusts as we head into Friday morning, around 5-10 miles per hour. Not too bad. Into the afternoon as that front passes, 25, maybe 30 miles per hour, isolated gusts here or there. So that's going to make our wind chill feel very cold. Friday morning, it's going to feel right around 2-3 degrees as you're heading out the door. Heading into Saturday morning, temperatures going to feel like -10, -15 at times. With all that slush that's developed due to the fact we've had some melting snow out there, really concerned about some ice development. Be very careful this weekend. Also going to be dealing with some very cold temperatures as well. But the good news is it doesn't stick around very long. We have above average temperatures off to our northwest. That kind of reaches into our area, even in the near normal area that we're seeing there. Well, the reason that we're seeing that is we have a nice large ridge off to our west. That's where all the warm air is. But as we head into this weekend, yes, a big trough develops, keeps our flow out of the north, giving us some cooler temperatures. But then that ridge starts to push eastward a little bit. That's where our temperatures are going to start heading back up. Take a look at this. Yes, Saturday, very cold, 19 degrees, but we're back above freezing on Sunday, heading into the 50s or near 50 degrees on Monday. Then a chance for a few showers, maybe even some accumulating rainfall on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're still in a drought, so we could use that rain. And then as we head into Thursday, we're right around 42 degrees. But then look at this, heading into the 50s by the end of next week and into the weekend. My goodness, is that going to feel good? As the snow melts away, people are going to start to hope that winter melts away and spring is on the way.
I know, a lot of changes coming, and I'm ready for that warm-up, that's for sure.
Spring is around the corner, and part of that corner is getting through this weekend.
Yes, that's true. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, still ahead, it's senior night on the wrestling mat in Frontenac as the Raiders battle Fort Scott. Those highlights next. Plus, Missouri Southern Hoops back in action to face Arkansas Fort Smith at home. We'll recap those matchups when we return.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since Missouri Southern basketball has taken the court, but the wait is over as the Lions clash with Arkansas Fort Smith in a doubleheader at home. The MSSU women's squad opening the night with sights on a 5th straight win. Third quarter, Lions up by double digits. Grace Frazier sneaks her way into the paint, splitting defenders and laying it in to give Southern the 18-point lead. Lions working the ball inside out here coming up. Frazier to Lily Thomas inside, Back out to Nariah Clay in the corner, and she drills the three. MSSU running away with this one. Last minute of the quarter, Lions going down low here to their forward, McKenna Yoakley, who goes to work dribbling and scoring off the glass to extend the lead. Heading into the fourth quarter, it's Yoakley again, this time dishing it to Thomas, who pops the mid-range jumper, and that is nothing but net. Lions cruise to the 59-36 win over Arkansas Fort Smith. After not playing for 12 days, Southern head coach Ronnie Russell was pleased with his team's performance.
It almost seemed like we went on Christmas break again. We had that same type of time frame as far as actually played the same team after Christmas. And it's always a challenge, and you're always worried as a coach when you're having that much time off, how are they going to respond? And I thought our kids responded, especially on the defensive end. We responded extremely well. Offensively, we struggled to knock shots down, but we were getting good shots. So I knew that eventually they was going to fall.
The Lions men's squad winners in 2 of their last 3, looking to complete the sweep. Opening minutes, Colin Ruffin crosses over, driving the lane and gets this layup to go through contact, plus a foul for the and one. MSSU leads early. Couple possessions later, it's Gavin Elkamil finding Hunter Fitch all alone underneath, and he slams it home for the Lions. But that duo wasn't done there. It's the same connection again. Elkamil looking for somebody. He's going to hurl it down low to his man Fitch, who posterizes the Fort Smith defender. Look out below, Lions on a 9-point run. Isaiah Atwater, he'll be running the point here on this next play, passing it cross court with a beautiful dish to an open Elkamil in the corner, and he bangs in the triple. Lions complete the sweep of Arkansas Fort Smith, 86-81 the final. At the high school level, Webb City on the road battling Glendale in a battle of the birds. First quarter, Webb City doing what it does best with great defense. Abby Sargent steals a pass, taking it the other way for an easy fast break layup. More on her just a little bit. Cardinals leading by double digits. Second half, Whitley Keith finding Addie Burns inside, who faced out the defender, kissing it off the glass for the bucket. She finished with 14 points. Later on, Burns to Sargent, wide open in the corner. That three is money. What a night for Abby Sargent. 21 points, 9 assists, leading both teams in every stat category. Cardinals dominate on the road, defeating Glendale by 31 for their 6th straight win. On the wrestling mat, though, the regular season continues to wind down with the Frontenac Raiders hosting the Fort Scott Tigers in the Cannonball Clash on senior night. The Raiders boys squad looking to keep the rivalry trophy in Frontenac. Starting off with a 126-pound bout, Frontenac already leading, and Chance Wilderman will add to it with a dominant performance pinning Camden Westcote. Raiders' Kason Morrison would make it back-to-back pins in the next match, 132-pound match, taking down Gavin Griffiths, and Frontenac is in complete control. Tigers not going down without a fight, though. It's Brody Stofton in the next match, coming from behind, getting Fort Scott on the board with a pin of his own, but the trophy is staying in Frontenac as the Raiders win the Cannonball Clash. The Raiders and Tigers girls squad rounding out senior night. Opening match at 105 pounds, it's Frontenac's Emerson Albright putting on a show, dominating from start to finish, collecting a technical fall victory. Following up Albright at 110 pounds is her teammate Harper Holmes, who picks right off where Albright left off, securing this takedown en route to a decision victory. The Tigers looking to respond, though, and they will. Go into the third period in the next match. Jerry Smith takes down Ella Blythe, picking up the decision victory, but the Raiders take down Fort Scott 39-31 to complete the sweep. With baseball season starting up this weekend, the initial National Collegiate Baseball Writers of America Top 25 poll has been released. Coming off a historic season in 2025, finishing with a program record 42 wins, Pitt State is ranked 16th. It's the start of a new era for the Gorillas as Brock Buckingham takes over as head coach, but a familiar face is back in the Crimson and Gold with Dagan Brewer, the All-American. PSU kicks off their season on Sunday against Southern Arkansas. That's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
For more than 4 decades, the Carthage Cross Lines Ministry has served as a lifeline for residents of eastern Jasper County, providing essential resources to neighbors facing difficult times. KOAM's Ty Park shows us how the organization is making a difference.
For over 40 years, Carthage Cross Lines Ministry has been a good neighbor to eastern Jasper County. Executive Director Tony Smith brings a personal understanding to her role.
It's so near and dear to my heart. I have 2 college degrees. I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a master gardener. And I went through a terrible divorce and became homeless. And so it can happen to anyone. For me, with the help of a lot of other people helping me get back on my feet and that believed in me, I was able to become the director here. While that's much harder climb for many of our neighbors.
People can come in and get food, clothing, and hygiene products. The ministry serves a diverse population that extends beyond traditional assumptions about who might need assistance. Smith emphasizes that clients represent all segments of the community.
Those that are in need are always, there's always going to be those that are in need. And so how do we help that? And we're not talking just about able-bodied people that can go to work. We're talking about your grandma, someone that goes to church with you, your neighbor, people with disabilities, single mothers with children that have part-time jobs that need a little additional help. And so we try to cover all of those bases.
The organization recognizes that financial hardship can affect anyone. Carthage Cross Lines currently seeks volunteers to help with their operations. The ministry also looks for contractors and service providers who might offer discounted rates for necessary work.
Help us out. It doesn't have to be for free, but if maybe you could give us a cut rate price with your labor, the labor alone, we know that almost always doubles everything. And so that could help us dramatically.
In Carthage, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Well, Carthage Crosslines Ministry recently purchased a new building in Carthage and is asking for volunteers to help get it ready. Final look at the forecast.
Yeah, we need to be careful tomorrow morning. We're going to see temperatures, yes, 25 degrees. We don't go back above freezing until Sunday, but I want everyone to be very careful of some ice accumulation this weekend. We'll start to see that melt off as we head into next week with some accumulating rainfall potentially as we head into the middle part of the week, and then we'll be looking at 50s by the end of next week.
A lot of changes coming. We've got to make it through another very cold weekend.
I don't like the cold weekend. I would like to get to I saw 51 up there. I'd take that. But
sure.
As for sports, Cash Wilderman, Frontenac Senior, got his 100th career win tonight on the mat. Quite an accomplishment. I believe they said the 6th wrestler in Frontenac history to reach the milestone.
That is impressive.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening and an even better Friday.